This is where a lot of people get stuck. They're trying to convince themselves intellectually that they deserve better, but their subconscious is still running the opposite program. If you want to have a fighting chance at reprogramming your deserving power, you have to never settle. Hey, you deserve better. Hell, you deserve the best. You've heard that before, right? Maybe you've said it to yourself, or maybe to a friend who's in a bad relationship, or to someone who's stuck in a dead end job. And on the surface, it makes perfect sense. Why would you settle for less than what you feel you deserve? Especially in today's world where you can just go online at any moment and you can see people who aren't nearly as talented or who don't work nearly as hard or who don't seem nearly as deserving as you. Yet, they're living these incredible lives. They've got the dream job, they've got the perfect partner, they've got the vacation, the wealth. So naturally, you start to think to yourself, if they have it, why don't I have it? And that's when the entitlement starts to creep in. We start telling ourselves that because we've worked hard, because we've suffered, because we've done all of the right things, doesn't life owe us something in return? And we hear it everywhere, messages reinforcing the idea that we're worthy of more. The self-help industry says that we should manifest abundance. Advertisements promise us that fulfillment is just one purchase, one experience, one upgrade away. And don't get me started on social media, which makes it look like everybody else is already living the life that we should have. So we start chasing. We try to position ourselves for what we think we deserve. We say the affirmations, we visualize, we repeat. I deserve happiness. I deserve love, success, peace. But here's where the problem starts. Despite all of the affirmations and all of the positive self-talk and all of the belief in what we should have, we still don't have it. So what's missing? Here's the truth that most people don't want to hear. Saying you deserve something and actually embodying that deserving power are two completely different things. You see, deserving isn't just about declaring what you think you want. It's about becoming the version of yourself who naturally attracts it. Because from a spiritual perspective, behavior trumps words, but thoughts trump behavior. You can look like you're doing all the right things, exercising, networking, putting yourself out there. If deep down, your thoughts don't align with those actions, you're going to continue to attract what you truly believe about yourself. And this is where a lot of people get stuck. They're trying to convince themselves intellectually that they deserve better, but their subconscious is still running the opposite program. And what's reinforcing that program? A lifetime of conditioning. You see, we've been taught that happiness and fulfillment and success are external, and that once we hit the next milestone and get the right job and make the right amount of money and find the right type of partner, then we're going to feel complete inside. But trying to dismantle that belief without doing the inner work is kind of like stepping on the field against the Philadelphia Eagles defensive line and you can't even do a push-up, right? You're going to get flattened again and again. And each time you're going to think, what's wrong with me? Why am I not getting what I deserve? But the problem isn't that you're unworthy, okay? The problem is that you have not trained yourself to actually believe in your own deserving power. And that starts with how you treat yourself on a day-to-day, moment-to-moment basis. Okay, here's the shift. Imagine that you were given a magical car, and this car has the power to generate all of your happiness and all of your fulfillment for the rest of your life. Okay, so this is not just a car for transportation. This is literally the source of your joy and your happiness. And if you take care of it, it keeps you fulfilled. But if you neglect it, if you mistreat it, if you let other people trash it, then it's going to diminish your happiness, your joy, and your fulfillment. Now, let's be honest. How would you treat that car? Obviously, you would put the best gas in it. You would keep the car spotless. You would drive it ever so carefully. You would make sure that only the right people were inside of the car. You wouldn't slap on cheap bumper stickers. You wouldn't let people eat and drink and spill coffee all over the seats. You wouldn't drive it recklessly just to impress somebody else, right? But here's the thing. You already have that magical car. It's you. It's your body. It's your mind. It's your spirit. And yet, most people treat themselves like a beat up rental car. They fuel themselves with garbage, with junk food, with toxic environments and negative self-talk. They let anybody inside, right? People who drain them, who disrespect them, who treat them like an afterthought. They run themselves into the ground trying to impress other people. Then they wonder why life doesn't feel as good as they think it should and why they're not getting what they think they deserve. But here's the truth. From the spiritual perspective, you can only ever receive at the level that you value yourself. So if you want to shift what you attract, you have to go beyond the intellectual understanding and you have to start prioritizing inner work. That's where everybody hesitates because the real change requires day-to-day training, right? You've heard of death by 1,000 cuts. Well, consider this to be happiness by 1,000 choices, right? One meditation session is not going to change your life. One journaling session is not going to undo years of conditioning. But 10 minutes of meditation every day, that'll start to rewire you. And over time, those small inputs, those consistent choices will start to add up. Because remember the Philadelphia Eagles example? If you want to have a fighting chance at reprogramming your deserving power, you have to train, and you have to train every day. There's no way around that, okay? And deep down, anyone who's gone from being miserable to genuinely happy and fulfilled has had to expose themselves to practices that felt very uncomfortable at first. They had to sit with themselves. They had to unlearn old patterns and old belief systems. They had to do the work. That's the difference. So when you see people who radiate peace and confidence, just remember this. They built that. It wasn't luck. You can't wing it. It wasn't because life handed them better circumstances. Those are people who trained for it. And the same opportunity is available for you. So here's my challenge for you. Instead of declaring that you deserve better, you want to ask yourself, real talk, am I prioritizing the type of work that actually rewires me to believe that from the inside out? And if the answer is no, then the opportunity is to start small. Just 10 minutes of meditation in the morning. Literally slide up to your headboard in bed, keep your eyes closed, and just sit there for 10 minutes. That's it. Because it's not about having this big breakthrough. It's about consistency. You don't have to overhaul your whole life overnight. You just have to start making regular, consistent choices. Thousands of small, deliberate choices that reinforce the truth that you are indeed the source of your own happiness. And once you start to recognize that and actually feel that from the inside out, you won't have to force what you want. You won't have to go around declaring what you deserve, because it's going to start showing up in your life and it's going to become a reflection of how you see yourself. Let me know in the comments if this resonates. And if you've ever had a moment where you realized that you were the missing piece to the puzzle. I'd love to hear about that. And if you're enjoying these spiritual perspective videos, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next episode. Until then, take care of yourself, because you are that magical car. You are your most valuable asset. See you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Just FYI, we post a new video almost every day, so make sure you comment and subscribe. And if you ever want to explore more, you can find playlists of all my podcasts, plot twists, and spiritual perspective videos linked in the description below. If you want to go even deeper, I've written several books on spirituality, happiness, and personal growth, and you can also book a one-on-one consultation directly with me. All of the details are in the description below. And if you enjoyed this video, I think you're really going to like this one as well.